MEC140, project number 2, LineTracker bot by Michael Bachman. Challenge number 1, continuous line tracking. This clip here is just showing a trial run of my bot, just continuously line tracking, and obviously the line's not continuous, so it reaches the end and just keeps going forward and reversing, trying to put itself back onto the track, which it's doing. But since there's no more track, it's just going to keep happening endlessly, as you can see. And I'm just zoomed in, or I guess move the camera over so you can see exactly what's popping up on the LCD at the time. And this right here is going to be the actual track run with this program, which it's simply just tracing the line. No special instructions like what will be needed for the second part, which is counting the marks, which are, I'm calling them crossroads or intersections in the track. And in the second part, you'll have to count those. In this part, it's just simply tracking the track. Tracing the track, following the track. And right here, as you can see, it just keeps reversing, going forward, reversing, slightly moving. Now it's finally turning, and I had an issue quite a few times when I was going through testing the bot, when I was trying to figure out exactly what my what's the word for this? My range should be for my values of when I should turn or move forward or reverse for tracing the track. And there was quite a few times that big curve that is kind of directly above the start. There was quite a few times where my bot got stuck there. It just kept going forward, reverse, and I was hoping it would eventually start turning, but it would just keep going forward, reverse. So I definitely had to change my values in that instance. And now it's just simply going through the track. Trying to think. I don't think there were too many hiccups or, I guess, issues that I had necessarily for the first part, or the first challenge of this project, just because it was simply tracing the line, and that in itself is a relatively simple concept to overcome. It was just the complication of having to build the robot and then come up with the code to get it to work. Concept's relatively simple, but getting it to work is much more harder than it sounds. But yeah, the part with counting the marks is definitely proved to be a lot more difficult. Challenge number 2, counting the marks. So right here in this clip, it's just my bot going along with the track, just like before. But this time you can see that there is a cross counter, or X counter, up on the LCD there. And that's basically just counting the amount of intersections the bot overpasses. And as you can see, it just forward, reverse, right onto that intersection right below that third wheel. And after the third time, the movement says complete. It moved forward about 3.5 seconds, and then came to a stop once it crossed over that quote-unquote finish line. And this is my actual run with the bot, and it's basically doing the same thing as it did in the trial run, but it's running the course of the track this time. And every time it crosses one of those intersections, you can't see it because it's too far away, but that LCD screen, the little X counter, is going up every time it crosses one of those intersections. And this turn coming up, it's getting ready to start turning right. This turn gave me a lot of issues with trying to troubleshoot my value ranges. My range of values for my comparison while statements to determine turning left, right, moving forward, or reversing, and counting the counter of the intersections. And that big dip turn right above the start that it just went through. That definitely threw me through a loop, because there was quite a few times I ran the bot through. It seemed all good up until that point, and then it just started counting and counting and then completed, but it wasn't even halfway down the track yet. So that was definitely frustrating. And right now I'm coming over the second intersection after starting. So the counter is going to have a 2 on there, and then it's making its way up to the start, and then once it gets to the start, it's going to proceed. It's going to count the intersection, proceed over top of it, and stop right after crossing over it completely. You'll see that happen momentarily. Yeah, luckily it didn't happen this time, but I know at that first intersection after the start, there's quite a few times where my wheels just kept getting messed up and stuck on it. So right here is a zoomed in of the complete screen, and then there's a more zoomed in actually showing what it would look like. How did I do it? These are just simple assembly photos that's just showing the chassis with the wheels, the gears, the collars, the motors, and this is the top view. And then this is adding the covers to the chassis and the LineTracker base, as well as the motor controllers. This is the LCDs, the LineTrackers, the motor, and the push button. And then this is what it looks like on the undercarriage, and this is on top with everything added onto it. And this is a complete disassembly of all